Yay!
Yay! Okay. Now the way this one works is it does it. You can go ahead, set up your watch party because it's going to go. It goes to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
Wow, we're like all over the place.
There you go. Hey, welcome. Oh, I probably should have changed the name down here, but that's all right. We are. She's setting up the little watch party right now, so that can invite additional people. But for right now, we're going to talk about different resources that are out there and things that we've discovered. She has some information to share with you guys.
So
some great info.
Because this is a unique election cycle. My hair. I need to go to the salon when this is all over. Okay, anyway. We have some people that have public offices that can get out, and some people that don't because they are regular citizens that need to abide by our shelter-in-place orders. So I'll share what I can. I'm going to share some resources, websites, and then phone numbers just in case people need them or know anyone who does need them. Medicaid is fssabenefits.in.gov, and their phone number is 800-403-0864. That's to apply for food stamps, Medicaid. The governor has enacted I can't remember the exact name of it, but basically it is lessening the restrictions on getting Medicaid, getting food stamps, the amount you can get. Check on his actual Facebook page, Governor Eric Holcomb. He has more details than I do on that. Social Security is socialsecurity.gov. Their phone number is 800-772-1213. Keep checking that website because if you file taxes and your bank account information has changed, or you did what a lot of people do, which is get the refund loan on a card from whether it's H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, that won't count. So they're going to actually issue paper checks, which will take longer. So I just checked the IRS website and they keep saying the portal's coming soon, that you can go in and update your banking information so you get it direct deposited. So check that. I would say, I'm one of the people that checks websites multiple times a day just because that makes me feel better. I would check it in the morning because if they update it, they usually update it through the night. Check it in the morning or check it once in the morning, once at night, and try to find something else to do. But they are not just going to say, oh, we're not going to give anyone any way to update their bank account information. Deal with it. You're going to have a way. Update that. If you get Social Security, SSI, or Social Security Disability, people get those confused. What's the difference? What's SSI? What's SSD? SSD is, if you think about it, we used to get statements like every 3 months where they would mail you saying, here's how much you've paid into Social Security, here's how much your benefit would be if you got disabled. That's SSD, or Social Security Disability. What people get based on how much they've paid in. It is your money, it's not tax money. SSI is what people get when usually they've been disabled since childhood for a very long time, or they haven't paid enough into the system to get the actual disability. That's tax money. So, but even then, there's so many different, they're going to still count that. So the IRS website has way more information than I do. Something I think every parent needs, including me, e-learning resources. All the kids, this is it. This is the longest summer vacation I've ever remembered ever in the history of ever. There are resources available. Facebook is great. I know there are a lot of teachers that are on Facebook that are like, hey, if your kid needs help, I'm here to help, answer any questions. use your resources that are available, but the government, the Department of Education actually has a website available. It's kind of long. It's doe.in.gov/e-learning/2020-COVID-19-remote-learning. It's a long one.
What? Oh,
Right
there
there.
it is. Okay, hold on.
The census it's census time. So 2020census.gov is where you would go to complete the census online. I do believe you need an access code or something that was sent to complete that. The state has an interactive map for the whole entire state. The state of Indiana does. That will show you where food banks, food resources are at. And for that, it's infssa.maps.arcgis.com. We'll get all those links up because it's a lot. They did part 1, but there is a part 2. It's a webinar, Managing Life During a Pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already dumped down here.
Well, hold on. I got to get all that stuff.
Well, I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah, you keep talking.
Okay.
I'm just going to put this stuff
It
down,
is
so.
April 7th. You would go and sign up. He will give the link. It's attendee.gotowebinar.com. Just how to manage life right now. There's so much unknown. There's so much, things change. My boss says we have to stay fluid. That's her saying, because there's so much
Hold on,
going on.
I have a question here.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Oh, that's not it. There it is. Are you Republican? Yes. Yes, I am. I am proud to be a Republican. Thank you for asking. Absolutely.
Just because things are changing every day.
Whoa.
And he dropped the computer. No. Things are changing every day. Sometimes it feels like every hour,
Right.
every minute.
Right. I'm trying to get these resources up.
Just by a webinar is part 2. They did part 1 already, but part 2 will continue it and just figure out how to deal with it, especially our kids. The class of 2020 is not going to progress like we all thought they would.
Yeah.
My son, my oldest, is class of 2021 only because we chose to have him repeat first grade when we moved from one city to another. It's a whole other long story. If anyone wants the details on it, I'll do a private message on that, but we moved and we chose to have him repeat first grade. Otherwise, he would be class of 2020.
And she'd be mad.
And I'd be mad. I'd be mad. And there's a lot of parents that are, and there's a lot of kids that are. So I just want to say, if you have a teenager who's a junior or a senior in high school and they're feeling it and they're getting snippy and they're getting angry, not okay. No child should ever disrespect their parents or yell at their parents, but just try to realize that anxiety sometimes manifests as anger. And we as adults have had the rug ripped out from underneath us in one way or another before. And if you haven't, then you're lucky. We know how to deal with it. We know how to deal with everything we thought was going one way went left. They don't. So talk to them, recognize it's anxiety, recognize that, they're mourning how they thought their whole school career is going to lead up to prom and graduation, and so are the parents. And me, for one, I think we should still do it, but just do it later. So those are all the resources I have. I think he got them all.
This is the last one that I put up there, is the interactive statement.
Okay. When you call Medicaid, when you call food stamps, just realize these people are processing things as fast as they can. Try to have a little patience, and it's hard to say that, but have a little patience.
Oh, I think I did set up.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Erica. Hi, Rondi. And hi, Tim.
Is it just on that one? I think the rest are okay, aren't they?
But also the state, and this will be in more information on the governor's website, they are working with the Bowen Center to do telehealth, mental health, anxiety, all that good stuff. And I want to say costs are not deferred, but different or free. I don't have all the details, but if you go to the Bowen Center or you go on Governor Eric Holcomb's page, they have all that information. So those are the resources. I really wish we could get out I'm an essential employee, although I don't really go out that much. I wish I could, or I wish Dion was considered essential so he could go out and meet people, but we have to abide by what the governor and the president said. And if you're lucky enough to have an office or a position that lets you go out and help, then that's awesome.
Let's see.
Hi, Tiffany.
Big slings have commas. If you see another one that doesn't work, I know the last one I saw the comma in it. If there was another one, let me know.
We'll make sure he
we'll
puts it up on his page, on his Dion for Kindness Facebook page.
Yeah.
So it's up there.
Yeah. Michael says
I talk faster than he types.
Facebook is working, but spitting at me. Yeah, I've had issues with Facebook. Did you hear today that they arrested the doctor from Harvard? Another one? I know. What was that guy's name? Leland. That they had arrested for working with the Chinese. This was a little while back. Was there additional development today on that?
So I'm trying to keep it like a mix of politics and not, because sometimes it's just nice fun to have a little mental break.
Yeah, no. Okay. He just heard it today. Yeah, there was the guy was caught with biological material, right? Multiple vials of biological material that has connections to China and was caught doing all kinds of stuff, right? But
also, I didn't put any information up for unemployment only because it can be so different based on who's applying. Everything's done online. I didn't want to give information out that would work for, let's say, me, but not for you, and not for Bob, and not for Tim, and not for so on. So bear with it. I've heard that some states are getting more unemployment claims than they can process. If you do get in Indiana, if you do get a triangle that's yellow with an exclamation point, that means that there are questions that they have for the employer. Just, log in every day and check on it, but really there's nothing more you can do.
Okay. Yeah, looks like everything's working. All right.
Also, excellent. And I know that this is not maybe an answer for everyone, but I went on Indeed.com to look at jobs, not for me, just to look. I especially right now, are there any jobs available for anyone? There are. Look in the temporary little slot on the left. It'll say full-time, part-time, contract, temporary. Look at temporary. I saw a job posting in Valpo for $25 an hour, and it was a COVID screener. From what it sounds like, it's people going to work and they're checking them before and after they leave. I do know that Department of Corrections hiring right now. They're always hiring. They're hiring right now too. Home health care is hiring, and they're hiring for right now. Those are most likely temporary jobs, but I mean, they might last. I don't know. But if you need a job right now, I would check the Department of Correction. Actually, even the state website, because that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in.gov employment. But I do know that the Westville and Indiana State Prison are hiring, and they start at $16 an hour. And home health care is hiring, Help at Home, Helping Hands, Dungarvan, ResCare. They all vary in starting salaries. So there are jobs. There's delivery jobs. There's Instacart jobs. Those are not ideal, but there are resources out there. So I just wanted to share. Next, everyone just passing the day. I know for me, it kind of feels like it's just really one long continual day. We had a little excitement this morning with an exploding vape.
Yeah. I meant to grab it so I could show
Don't
it.
Don't touch it.
I think it's dangerous. So I used to be a very, very, very heavy smoker, right? Over 3 packs a day. And I switched to vaping, right? It wasn't ideal, but better than smoking in my opinion. Well, this morning, and I've gradually gone down from 24 milligram, 21, something like that. The highest nicotine that you can get. They would look at him like, are you sure you want this? Right. I went all the way down from there, all the way down to the lowest before you get to 0. It's the 3 milligrams or percent or whatever it is. So overall, I think I've done, really, really well. This morning, I replaced the battery just like
always, right? The battery needed to be recharged, so I pulled out the old one, put the new one in, secured it, turned it on, and it started hissing and smoke started coming out. So I basically threw it because of people like losing hands and stuff
We
to
can't
the
have
battery.
handly versus handless
Right.
for District 1.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not-
that wouldn't be a good
No.
look. So if it starts making this noise and I toss it, and I ended up getting a burn mark on the carpet, which is what I'm upset about.
Oh,
It's like this big. It's not a huge one, but
our carpet's like black and gray, so I mean it's noticeable. It's not
no,
like,
you can see
ooh,
it.
what is that?
No, you can definitely see it. I'm not happy about that, but better than losing a hand, I suppose, or at least a finger or two.
Yeah.
But
Michael says, I'm just going to spell it because I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
WONOLLO is hiring. I don't know what that is, but there's a $50 bonus if you sign up, and he has the website in the
there you go.
in the comments. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that
Put it on
is.
screen.
And then my dad, hi dad, he says Mervyn opens Wicker Park Golf Course despite despite governor.
Okay, governor.
They're not the
Governor,
only.
yeah.
They're not the only
Mhm.
golf course that's open. I've heard the golf course is open, and then I've just heard the walking trails are open. So I don't know. This is how I feel. If you are abiding by the 6 feet,
Right. You hear about the guy in Florida that got arrested because he was swimming?
That
Like, what?
and I mean golf. I don't golf, but I know you do get closer than 6 feet.
Yeah.
I just feel like right now
But you don't have to. That's the point. You can easily do all that stuff without needing to get within 6 feet of people.
I feel like we are getting to the point where people are going to say, forget it.
Not only
I've
that.
been in my house for 4 weeks. It's not getting any better. They don't know when it's coming. Forget it. I'm going out there. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And I don't think that that's the right answer. I think we should get outside. We were talking about doing family walks, just sunshine and fresh air. If you're going to close one golf course, you need to close all the golf courses. If you're going to leave one open, then you need to leave all of them open. But we all need to stay 6 feet away from each other. Don't, cover your cough, wash your hands. We all need to practice those social distancing. Eric is allowing recreation. I don't know who Eric is. But Eric Holcomb. Okay. He is. Sorry.
This is what he's saying is look, let's look at it from, you hear Walmart, right? Is limiting the items that can be sold, okay? Because now here's what people are starting to understand, I think, hopefully. When the government tells you what's a necessity, what isn't, right? The government is telling you, okay, toilet paper is a necessity, but toys for your kids are not, or video games are not, or gum or candy or this or that are not considered necessities, so Walmart's not going to sell it to you. Now, look, yes, we know there's idiots out there who are wandering around Walmart, scratching themselves and all that, right? But you're going to have idiots no matter what. You're going to have morons that are going to put other people at risk for no good reason. But at the same time, that's part of the freedoms in this country. We have the government that's stepping in and telling us, oh, you're going to shut this down. You're going to shut that down. We're locking this down. We're locking that down. And
it makes it harder for people who are shopping for other people to get things. And you have to go to the store multiple times. I have currently in this house teenage boys. If anybody has ever raised, and I think teenage girls are the same, but if you've ever raised teenagers, they don't stop eating.
Right. Ever.
So
raise your hand if you have kids that won't stop eating, right?
When we together went to Meijer, just because tag team it, you get this, I get this, I get this, and then we're in there shorter. I literally had people looking at my cart because my cart was full. I have teenage boys, and I'm home all day. He's home all day. There's no running to Panera to grab soup. There's no running to McDonald's to grab chicken nuggets while I'm in between meetings and it's lunchtime. I'm home all day long, and so is he. And my oldest is still considered an essential worker. He works at McDonald's in LaPorte, and he's proud of it because right now he says there are people that can't find or can't afford food at the grocery store, so they come here and we feed them.
Yeah,
So,
and let's face it, there's plenty of instances of that. You know, I read some articles that my buddy Jim sent me, and there's food, right? Shortage of food. But because of the way things are set up right now, they have places that are pouring out milk, right? Pouring it out. They have, you know,
500 are allowed at Walmart at a time. He's in Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
He's in a golfing paradise town in Tennessee. I think up here it's, I know in LaPorte, I don't know if Michigan City has declared it, and I know other cities have.
That's why.
So many people per so many feet of the store. One big thing I have a problem with is you can't bring kids. Now, here's the only reason I have a problem with that. And this was me when my oldest was little. It was single mom and him, and I can't leave a 2-year-old home alone to go grocery shopping, and there's no babysitting, especially right now, to go grocery shopping. So what do you do with people who don't have an option but to bring their kids? For some people, the banning of I saw in Vermont, they said you can't buy seeds. Seeds aren't essential. You can't sell them.
Since when are seeds considered non-essential?
I saw that from Paul, and Paul said, I believe it was Paul. It's either Paul or Kenneth.
Yeah.
When they start saying don't grow a garden, that's when you grow a garden. I kill everything I plant, so I can't grow a garden anymore. I just think people are too judgmental right now. People are too, if you can't be nice now, if you can't be caring and considerate now, when can you ever be caring and considerate? We are not, I look at our grandparents or not even our great grandparents who went through World War II, and you know, you had the stamps and rationing and stretching and making things last. And I'm like, I don't think our government's calling us not to go to war, but to sit on the couch for 2 weeks. And people are like, oh, I'm going to go travel. No, just stay at home.
Yeah.
But no, Paul said he's alone. Some stores are banning kids, period, from coming in. So what do you do with the single mom or the mom whose husband's deployed, or the mom or the dad, the parent whose other parent's deployed, or in the hospital sick, or you know, there are reports of first responders that are staying elsewhere. They're not even going home because they don't want to get their kids sick. Paul, exactly. Like, I can be nosy. Look, but right now, just cut people some slack and let them, if you see them coughing on food, that's one thing.
When Lake County 911 puts out a statement that please stop calling 911 because your neighbors are leaving the house. Really? That is absolutely ridiculous, right? But mind your business, right?
What is everyone doing to pass the time? I work from home, so I don't know if anyone's had this. I normally am in bed by like 10:30. You know, don't call after 10. I'm normally about by 10:30, 11, maybe midnight at the latest, but I'm like driving.
Yeah, on the weekends she'll be like, you know, maybe stay up till midnight, watch a movie or whatever. But usually
now I'm up to like, there are Karens everywhere. Karens and Brendas and whatever. Now I can't, now I'm up to like 3, 4 a.m. The kids, I know I should have them on a schedule, and I don't, because one is months away from turning 18, which I really hope this is over with by the time he turns 18, because I'm not sure.
Miserable birthday.
I'm not sure what we're gonna do. But anyway, we had one that turned 14 on March 16th, when everything was, you know, no one knew if there was gonna be food. No one knew what was gonna happen. And for him, he's easier. We gave him free reign on video games, and he was just
he was happy. Yeah.
But I'm up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know, I've heard that this is pretty common. Right now, I don't know, but I usually do my work in the morning and then at night, and then the kids are doing e-learning usually during the day. But what is everyone doing to pass their time? I started cleaning our carpets today.
Mhm.
It's harder than I thought it would be. So I've got like a section done.
Yeah.
That'll be the next whole entire week's process of just cleaning the carpet. There's so much I want to do, but I can't go to the hardware store and be like, mix me some paint. It's not, that's not what they're there for. So, what I'm doing is I'm working TikTok.
God, her on TikTok.
But you know what I'm watching on TikTok? And this is the weirdest thing. I'm watching carpet cleaning videos. I'm watching this talking dog video. He's not really talking. It's the person that's talking, obviously.
No, get out.
Yeah, he's just not that skilled yet. And then paint mixing videos. When you go to like Lowe's or Menards or whatever, and you say, I need a gallon of this paint, and they mix it up. I've just been watching that. I don't know. And then YouTube, mostly ASMR. I watch a lot of that. And then a lot of Jenna Marbles and Jeffree Star, because I like his business model. But then, dealing with the kids, driving the oldest back and forth to work. Kim, working for the hospital doing EVS, so she's been cleaning ours. Well, Kim, God bless you for cleaning, because, our hospital workers, they are on the front line every day, regardless of what is going on, flu or this or
even this is before this took off.
And, keeping the hospital clean is so important. And you guys are doing just as much work as anyone else. I remember I had influenza 2 years ago, and I think that's when there was a large outbreak. But I think, and I talked to Jesse about this, my coworker, I think we've had COVID here longer than they say, because I remember in like November, December, especially January, February, everyone was getting sick.
Yeah.
Everyone was thinking they were going to die, but they were going to the hospital, and it was negative for strep, negative for flu.
Yeah.
So
negative for like everything.
I think that it's already been here.
Maybe.
And that's why, a lot of us are maybe asymptomatic carriers, because we were already sick back in the winter.
Yeah.
But I know I had influenza B, and I was so sick. I forgot I had kids. I just laid there. Everything hurt, but like my one finger. So I'm like texting on my phone, because I was also on call, and it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my boss forced me to go to the ER that I went to the ER. And they're like, they started talking to you, plain face, and she took my little flu nasal swab and then came back holding a mask. I'm like, oh, okay. So thank you, Kim, for working and keeping the hospitals clean. That's super important. That's a TikTok alert. I was up to like 5'2". Jenna Marbles is hilarious. She really is. She really is. And what I like about her the most, he doesn't get it. You don't get Jenna on her channel. All right, I'm going to talk a little about this. So many YouTube people want to put in their politics. They want to put in their religion. They want to insult people who believe differently than they do. And you don't get that with her. So it's kind of nice that she just makes a video that for 15 minutes, you're not really thinking anything but, why she's making a kissing booth for her dog. And she did that. So it's just an escape even for 15 minutes. But I'm working, cleaning carpets, trying to manage teenage boys. And that's about it. So what is anyone else doing? If anyone wants to share what they're doing to pass the day, pass the time, he's, campaign stuff.
Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time going through and trying to figure out what would be the best platform to stream to multiple sources, right? Like this is the one that I finally decided on, StreamYard. It seems to work pretty well. I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs of it, but it does allow me to have guests on, which I think is going to be awesome coming up. I got a lot of things coming, so stay tuned, right? I'm going to have people from all across the country that are running for office or involved in various things. I got some really, really positive things lined up for everybody, and I think you're going to be really excited once you see what's coming. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to drop any names or anything just yet because I want to get the schedule set first. But I've already talked to quite a few people, and I've got some serious interest. I did send out a couple of messages to other people in this district. There are a couple of people that I'm going to reach out to as well and see if they'd like to be on as a guest. But the main thing is just I'm trying to keep it interesting for you guys, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to give you some variety. Nobody wants to hear me babble, over and over every night, right? For an hour, half an hour, 40 minutes, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't even want to hear that.
No.
But I am trying to get some, a little bit of variety, keep it interesting. Yes, give you some important resources, give you some knowledge, but also let's get some people from across the country, get different perspectives, right? And see what's going on. So,
I mean, there are, of the Republican candidates, we have two that one works in, I think he's in the jail, or he actually might be a county officer. I think he's in the jail.
He's in the jail. He's county jail.
They're working hard. We have another candidate who's a police officer. He's working hard. He doesn't have the platform. What he does, social media is a very viable platform to jump on for 10, 15 minutes a day. But, everyone is doing what they can do for someone who, isn't essential and can't leave the house unless, to do essential tasks. This is about it.
Yeah.
The Republicans or the Democrat side, the squeaky wheel gets the most grease. I think I said that right. Yeah. There are two that are out in force. They have the offices that they can do so. The other ones, I don't follow them on Facebook, so I don't know.
Right. I don't know
what they're doing, but they're also average, non-essential employees.
Right.
So it really is up to the voter to, and I don't like having a candidate who will put something up and then make you go look and figure out what they're saying and make you go, like, if you post an article about a bill, summarize it for me. Not whether I want to click on that link and read it myself or listen to you. At least I don't have to go chasing information. There's too many candidates across both sides, all offices, that will make you hunt down their information. Yeah,
and I do want to say this, and this is not just for candidates, but really especially for candidates, right? Make sure that whatever information you're putting out there is accurate. Make sure that you're taking the time before you put this link out there. Because I've done it. I've been guilty of it. I've accidentally put a link that had flawed information in it, right? That I thought was right, because I didn't take the time to actually read the entire article, right? Do your due diligence before you go sharing that information to other people, because as people running for an office, especially Congress, right? United States Congress, we're held to a higher standard. The information that we share should be on point. It should be factual. And if you can't even put out factual information at this point as a candidate, you're not going to be able to do it once you're actually elected, because you're going to have even more on your plate. I do want to say that, because I think that gets overlooked far too often. It's funny to share memes and stuff like that. That's what my personal account is for. But make sure that whatever information that you're sharing with the public, especially, is factual and is rooted in reality, right? Save things like, and everybody knows or should know by now that Babylon Bee is a satire website,
so
right?
It's The Onion.
The Onion,
there's a
stuff
couple
like that.
Of them. Be careful of the websites where it's something. I saw this going around. I think it was just for April Fools. So and so is going to ban the sale of alcohol.
Yeah.
So and so is going to make the kids repeat the same grade. And I fell for it, because I was like, oh, how do I tell my kids that they're going to be, in 8th grade again? And then it's like, haha, got you. But man, well brought up point. It's too easy to just throw some graphics up, make a website, throw some graphics up, use the right words. It's unofficial. I think we all should have learned in school how to identify bias, how to look at the website, look at where it's coming from. If it's an article about dairy farmers, but the site is a fashion magazine, I'd look at where they're getting their information
Right.
from.
Sourcing is
Yeah.
important. Look, that's and you know what? I have people who kind of visit my Facebook, especially to drop little nuggets of doom, as it were. But they make some good points, and one of those points is source your information. Right before you post this out there and say this is factual, make sure that you know what you're talking about. Check. Look, a lot of people think that, for example, let's say MSNBC, right, is a source that you can share without any problem. Let's even take CBS, right? CBS, not quite as, but CBS, generally, you can kind of think, okay, if I share a CBS article, there's a good chance that it's going to be factual. So I should be able to just, share it. They were caught using footage from an Italian hospital, right? Presenting it as if it was from a New York hospital. So nothing is safe. Nothing is, guaranteed this is going to be true, right? So just make sure that you do your due diligence. It's really easy to get suckered in to believing something, especially if it's something you want to believe, right? Things like
if you go looking for like if you're anti this or anti
or pro that, you can find something
yeah.
to the echo chamber, right? Whatever your opinion is, whatever you like or dislike, you can find people / group / reporting that agrees with your analysis, right?
I was watching an ad for Neil deGrasse Tyson's doing a master class about knowledge and thinking and learning how to think independently. And he even said that we all have bias. We all have bias, and actually the internet and search engines are an example of the way you can find bias. Most people will Google, why I'm waving this thing around, why eating pangolins is a bad thing, why we should let them run free. That's what I have right here, the little penguin guy. See, he's so cute. Anyway, and they'll just click on the first or second, they're an endangered species, and it's a whole cultural thing. But why we should protect them, why we should devote money to protect the pangolin. And they'll Google that, and then they never look past that first page. And let's see, at the bottom it says like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 pages. They don't ever go past the first page or the first 5 links because they're going to find what they're looking for, and they're going to go, there it is. See, no, it's about to keep looking.
And look, let me point out, that's a favorite tactic of Snopes, right? I don't know. I'm not going to get into all of that, but the short version is people will just look at Snopes to check something, and Snopes will put it as partially true or false or whatever. But when you actually read the entire description and the entire so-called article, right, you get all the way down to the bottom, and it's like let's say Trump said this, right? Trump made this claim. You get they mark it as partly true or mostly false or whatever. But when you get all the way down to the bottom, you discover that Trump, actually did say that. And yes, it was mostly true, but then when it was taken out of context, then it became false or whatever. You have to make sure that you read the whole thing. And that, for what it's worth, that is how Snopes actually manages to maintain their credibility on places like Media Watch and I forget what the name of the I think it's like Bias Check, or there's stuff out there where it measures the bias of various websites, right, and various sources. That's how Snopes is able to maintain their so-called low level of bias, is because they put it in tiny little part down at the bottom.
And also doesn't matter for a little time. The reason why I'm not political, but it matters so much to me, is I'm from the region. My parents are from the region, my grandparents. I mean, I'm literally on my mom's side, I want to say 3rd generation, even to this country. On my dad's side, maybe 4th, maybe. Yeah. My family lived in the Harbor and Hammond and Gary back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way until, where everyone moved out of Gary and when Hammond just changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I left the region. I grew up in Munster. I went to Munster High School. I graduated in, okay.
Always read the fine print.
I always graduated in 1998, bounced from Munster to Hammond to Maryville to Valpo, like around until I got a job at the prison and I moved out to Michigan City. I didn't even know Michigan City existed. I thought Indiana stopped at Porter County. But I grew up hearing what Hammond was like. I grew up hearing what East Chicago was like. I grew up hearing what, Gary was like. But when I left Hammond, I left and it was better than I had been when I first moved there. And then I never really came back because my family wasn't living there anymore. My family also lived in Whiting, and I dig Whiting. Whiting, I think, is on the upswing, and I love going there. Had a funeral home, had a winery, had a lot of stuff. And I have started going back to Hammond for my job now. And I feel like in 16 years that he has been mayor, and if anyone here wants to share this information with his supporters, I would love for them to contradict me. He has lowered the credit rating. Mm-hmm. He has risen the crime and explain to me how Hammond, 16 years later from when he started, is better now. He gets on WJOB, and I remember my grandma wouldn't let me change the radio station from WJOB because WJOB had everything from news to music to weather to everything. And he says he doesn't know. What about this? What about this? What about this? So if you've been there 16 years, you've been in charge of the city for 16 years, not 16 months, not 16 days, 16 years, and you can't explain why there's Illinois drivers showing up and putting their kids in Hammond schools from Illinois. Munster had the same problem, and they do everything they can to tackle it. And I remember my parents having to prove like 6 different documents that we lived in Munster. Why can't you give us statistics on that, or why won't you? Why won't you tell us why the roads aren't better at Hammond? I drive the Hammond roads and they're horrible. Why won't you tell us why the credit rating went down? Why won't you tell us why the debt went up? Why won't you say anything? You say, I don't know. Well, everyone's, at home, city shut down. Why don't you answer those questions? Why don't you go public and explain why in 16 years the city has gotten worse under your watch, and how can anybody expect you to take a district and improve it, which has way more people than one city that you have managed for 16 years? How are you going to keep it better? Are you just going to be a soldier for Nancy Pelosi because you like her so much? Because that's what you said on WJOB. Yeah. If I can't trust you to run a city, how can I trust you to run the district that I'm going to live in? Because if he doesn't win, now I'm a voter. And I have to vote for who I think is going to do the best job. If it's not him who I think is going to do the best job, then I have to find another person. How can I trust you to run the district when you run your city into the ground? And I would love for him to hear that and respond. So that's my little, thank you. I mean, the whole district means so much to me. I grew up in Munster, Circle Park, Munster High School, Elliott Elementary School, Wilbur Wright School. My family's lived here forever, since they came. Dad's a steel mill, brother's an electrician. My mom rode the South Shore to go to work to Chicago every day. So I remember going to the East Chicago South Shore train station parking lot and waiting for her to come off of the train. My dad's family on my dad's side ran Owens Funeral Home in Whiting, Lake Michigan Winery. The district means so much to me as a voter. So I want to make sure whoever replaces Wiskoski is the one that's going to do a good job.
Yeah.
And Gabe is my cousin. Paul's like Gabe Grindhouse. Oh, he's opening another one. Okay, I didn't know. He's like my third cousin. So we're the same age. We didn't grow up together. He lived in Griffith. I lived in Munster. I don't even think our parents went to the same church. I went to St. Mary's in Griffith before not going there anymore. We didn't really grow up together, so don't really know. I think I saw him like at family funerals. But I am so happy that his him and his wife's coffee house is doing so good and growing. I'm so happy that he is opening another location. So from a Mouch to a Mouch, I'm just so dang proud and excited for him. And, you know, I hope when I'm in the area now, because I do have people in Whiting, I now have 2 coffee shops that I can go to.
There you go.
So if you see him, Paul, let him know that I am just so happy for him. It is great for him. It really is. You know, that's what we all dream, that we start a business. He's, you know, running a business and he's doing it successfully. To open another location, he's killing it. So that's what Mouches do. So what can I say? You know, we kill things successfully, not like scratch that, reverse it. That doesn't sound right.
That's gonna make
we
it
do
like
really well
somewhere.
we kill things. No, not like that.
Right.
Yeah, native region. I'm about as native as you can get. It was so funny because I don't even know how I got like a Chicago accent. I have a Northwest Indiana, Chicago-ish accent. And thank you, tag him and let him know. And when I first came to Michigan City, like I was driving like we drive in Lake County, and they don't drive like that out here. It's very slow, and I'm like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
And people are like, why do you sound like you're from Chicago? Well, because I'm Munster and Illinois are like, you know, we cross the street and it's like Illinois, Munster, Illinois, Munster. So, okay, since no one wants to share what they're doing to pass the day, we'll go to the next one.
No one, but they did.
Manuel actually, who has been my friend since I was 14. So, you know, he gave me a thing. He gave me an idea. Favorite movies or TV shows? He doesn't really watch that much television.
I really don't.
No.
Especially lately, I haven't really had time. Just trying to get, you know, up on everything and stay connected electronically. I mean, I'm trying to keep up on social media and answer people. And I think that's probably like the single most important thing is the people that reach out on social media can tell you that.
Oh, see, Paul, you're always talking about food and.
There you go. Clerks. She loves
I have to say Clerks. I think Clerks 2 is better than Clerks 1, but I also like Dogma. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, but Clerks, Silent Bob, you can't go wrong with Silent Bob. But you don't really, you have favorite movies though. You do like.
I do, yeah. Stop it. Oh my God, no. That wasn't mine. So whatever.
I know.
Whatever. No,
he likes bad movies. He likes bad.
I do. I like really, really bad
movies.
Like horrible, like terrible B movies. You know, like Flash Gordon, right? Flash.
No, like movies worse than that. There was this movie about was Kung Fu something.
Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Yo, Kung Fury.
But I don't really see him watching a lot of movies or TV.
Yeah.
Clerks, Kevin Smith, it's pretty up there. I also like Tim Burton movies. I like Asian horror.
Yeah.
What?
Flash.
Asian horror, that's a good genre if I'm gonna watch a horror movie, because the difference between Asian horror and hi Casey. The difference between Asian horror and Americanized horror is Americanized horror beginning, middle, end. I mean, with the exception of like Jason and Freddy Krueger. Something bad happens, they figure out it's ghost, and then they kill the ghost, and then everyone lives happy ever after.
Except for that one. Oh my goodness.
In Asian horror, it's called Audition. Do not ever watch
Audition.
That movie. God. It's horrible. But with Asian horror, they identify that sometimes there are things bigger than humans, and you can't. It doesn't end. You can't kill it. Yeah. An example would be like The Ring. How you don't really why'd you do that, mommy? You know, she's never going to stop. So I like documentaries. I just watched a really interesting one about a drag queen, but it was more than him being a drag queen. It was about his folk music career and dealing with being a child of parents of alcoholics. It was really interesting.
She got me to watch the crazy Tiger King.
Okay, Carol Bass. I'm not gonna say it because I'm not, but I just found it super suspicious that she knew about sardine oil and then just kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna pretend like you just didn't say that.
It blew my mind because when they talked about the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, if you haven't watched it, watch it. If you think it's beneath you, still watch it.
It's crazy
because it's crazy.
It is insane.
And I mean, if you look at it, he grew it from a little zoo to this big, and then it exploded. But it shows what you can do if you put your mind to something.
Yeah.
He used to go all over the country to malls, and you would pet these tigers,
including Marquette Mall.
I went with my oldest. His name's Orion. I'm tired of saying the oldest because he has a name. My mom, because me and Orion and I's birthday is 4 days apart. I was 21 when I gave birth to him. And by the time I got to go home, I was 20. It was the day before I turned 22. Yeah. So our birthdays are like this. So like this birthday will be turning 18 and 40. So the goal was skydiving, although now he's starting to chicken out. He's like,
is he really?
I don't know.
What? Yeah, because he was all about it. He was like, oh yeah, because we were talking about taking him skydiving on his 18th birthday, right? Because you have to be 18.
He's like, I don't know if I want to die on my birthday. I'm like, before, it's not my birthday, so you'd be dying on my birthday.
Right. Before he was all about it, right? He was like, oh yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. And then the closer he gets to his actual 18th birthday, it's like, well,
But anyway, okay. So my mom, for a birthday treat, because my mom is a weird gift. She's one of those weird gift giver type people. She's gotten better. She's one of those people that gives you a gift based on what she would like if she was your age.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did a show, and she actually, and I didn't even think about how cruel it is until later in life. She booked time for us to sit in like a cage and pet and play with a baby tiger. I just thought it was cool. Orion was over the moon, thought it was the best thing ever under the sun. So it was cool. It was different. But then you start to think, maybe it's not exactly the nicest thing for the animals.
Right.
Well, if you're talking about staying away from Tiger King, I say go for it. It's 8 episodes, 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Learn from it. Embrace it.
Embrace the insanity. Embrace the insanity.
Will now not let anyone come to Big Cat Rescue. So no more cool cats and kittens. You can't go to her Big Cat Rescue. Why? Why did she close it? Maybe she's moving furniture or husbands. I don't know.
Maybe.
I usually binge watch The Office and Friends. Like I binge watched Friends like every day that I was home.
Yeah.
All the time. I like older shows too. MASH is a good one.
Yeah. I like some MASH. MASH was a
Barney and Miller. Because, when you grow up, and if you're, at least with me, if Dad wanted to watch TV, you can either go or watch it with him.
Yeah, watch what he's watching or go away.
There are some shows that I used to watch on HBO with my dad that I can't find streaming anywhere. I don't know why. But there was a show called Brothers. It was on HBO. I mean, back in the 80s. Can't find that anywhere. It was really a good show. I know what show you're talking about. But favorite movies, Kevin Smith. Most of Tim Burton. Not all, but most.
Yeah.
I like documentaries and stand-up comedy. But, Manuel says he's binge watching Vikings right now. I have not seen that. The only reason I haven't really gotten into it is there's not a lot of historical accuracies with it.
Yeah.
And
it's
what my most
neither was there in Game of Thrones.
The movie we saw that was really good was The Joker. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Joker was really good
Because it really shows how people
with Joaquin Phoenix.
can feel stuck and what the 80s was like. It was dirty and gritty. Okay, another thing is how to support each other through this time. And not just like each other,
Right.
but like each other as a whole. Because I think this was the first time in our lives that everybody's doing the same thing. Pretty much the whole world right now is sitting still.
Yeah.
And it's hard because we're a go. And people, I guess, are starting to have anxiety because they're not getting all their projects. I read an article in the New Yorker. People are feeling like now you have to get all these projects done. And if you're not, there's something wrong with you. No. And it's give yourself a little bit of grace. Do what you have to do. I saw another post on Facebook that someone had put up where even if you just have to take small steps to get through the day, wash your dishes, make dinner, take a nap, take a shower, watch a stupid, horrible 80s movie, something, whatever gets your mind off of it, but support each other by, if you're going to the store, and let's say I'm running to the store and I'm not doing that whole week and a half, 2 weeks of trying to feed the kids and trying to get through the grocery store with a huge cart full of groceries. But if I'm only running out for like milk and bread, do I have neighbors that maybe can't get out that I could go run and get something for? I have to get colored paper today so I can put the hearts in my window so people can, when they're looking out their window, because I'm standing at my living room window just going, I remember the outside. I remember going places. So people have something to look at, family walks. Just get out of your minds and get out of your me. My work calls for us now to make more contact than ever with our people that are our clients, and to make sure that they are feeling supported and have everything they need. If you have a bunch of family member, like Easter, I think this is going to be really hard because Easter's coming up. You can't buy for family our size with all these limits. Exactly.
I know. That's the thing that just makes me so angry. Yeah, see, I put it up there. You can't buy for a family our size with all these limits. These places are you only get like, I've seen, you can 2 of these, right? But they have a sale that's like 3 for $5. Yeah. You can only get 2 of this or 3 of those. And when you have teenagers, especially like, us 2 plus teenage boys, is like, they just consume so much stuff all the time. Like, are you kidding me?
And something I don't think these stores think of. The job I had before this, I had a house that had 3 gentlemen in the house. And you see our cat, he's so lazy. 3 gentlemen in there. And I would have to grocery shop for these 3 guys. I'll call them Larry, Moe, and Curly. Larry, Moe, and Curly had diet restrictions. Larry could eat this, but Moe couldn't eat this. And Moe couldn't eat this, but Curly could eat this. And they were literally breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, you had to buy foods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's no way that I could do it or have my staff do it when you're only allowed 1 or 2 of anything. It makes you have to either go to multiple stores or keep coming back to the store multiple times a week.
Yeah, which is defeating the entire purpose of the social distancing.
And you can't buy clothes. Clothing, I think, is essential. You can't buy toys. Now, my kids, they're all about video games. You can download them, which is why I think GameStop being open is stupid. Yeah. You can download the games, boot, brand new video game, they're happy. But when they're little kids, and if you're stuck in the house, sometimes you need that new board game, that new book, that new toy that's going to help carry that kid through another week or 2. But I don't think that you're going to get less sick if you're buying food versus a board game.
Yeah, it just, you know what it is?
Store.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a way, it's these companies responding, right, to these people that are just going around and wandering through the stores all day. That's what it is. It's people who, instead of staying at home like they're supposed to, or maintaining social distancing, they're going to Walmart, they're going to Target, they're going to Lowe's, they're going to all these places that are open and just going up and down the aisles, right? Like they used to, with nothing better to do, just wandering through the damn aisles, right?
I think if they're going to restrict toys and clothing, then I think another way we could all come together is if you have toys that your kids aren't playing with anymore, exchange them.
Yep. All stupid. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's frustrating. Look. There's more going on than we're being told. We can all agree on that, right? Whether you think the government's hiding something, whether you think that the numbers are manipulated, whatever. There's more going on than we are being told. Now,
we just need
whether you agree with the social distancing and the economy problems and all of that are irrelevant. We have a government that refuses to be honest with us. We need transparency because I believe if certain things are happening and if the government came out and said, hey, here's what we're doing, we would be a lot better. We would be a lot more,
But there are, Easter's going to be a really unique holiday, I think, because it's my favorite holiday, but I'm just not in the, you don't need the holiday decorations. They're not essential and they're not out. I haven't really seen them in stores, but so many of us are so used to having family come over and having this big Easter thing.
Yeah, Easter, it's going to suck because you're not supposed to have anybody come over. And
here's what I say though. Even no matter how old your kids are, because normally my oldest doesn't really ask for like an Easter basket or anything like that. He's 17, he's too cool for it.
Yeah.
He was like, are we going to get an Easter basket? Because I think kids
they need something.
Simple things.
Right. They need something.
Hi Samantha. Hi Danya. Hi Ralph. It's, I can't go overboard. I have an extra gene. I'm a bit extra. So my holiday food, you can usually go overboard.
Yeah.
I can't.
We've got leftovers for weeks.
I can't because there's restrictions, and I don't want to panic buy. What I was afraid of happened. Everybody bought all the food, and as a parent, the worst thing I think, and I don't care what your beliefs are. I think as a parent, the worst possible case scenario is possibly not having food to feed your kids.
Yeah.
So when people went up and bought all the food, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Easter's going to be really weird, not having family, not having a big thing. I think that's how we support each other and use things like Zoom, Skype, things like that, where we may not have us physically there, but we can all be there and talking and seeing each other, and then put off the big celebrations till after, which is what I hope happens. I hope when all this is over with, we come out and we're all ready to be happy and we're all ready to celebrate our seniors that are graduating.
Yeah.
We're all ready to celebrate.
I will say, I do feel bad. I feel bad for the seniors, but what a lot of people don't talk about, I feel bad for the moms and dads that are looking forward to throwing that big celebration for, their seniors
prom.
Prom. Oh my goodness.
So let's have prom. I don't think it should be canceled.
Right.
Just do it. Who says prom has to be in April or May? I think it was in May when I went to prom. Who says it has to be in that month?
Right.
Still
just
have
temporarily postpone it. That's like they're canceling the 4th of July parade instead of holding off. Like, are we convinced that all this is not going to be cleared up by July? What is going on?
I think we will forever be changed by it. But I think we need to get back to celebrating, and the kids need it. The kids need life to come back to normal.
Yeah.
So do the pets. My animals are like, I need a nap. When do you guys ever leave? My poor dog.
I know. His schedule's just destroyed.
My poor dog is used to when the kids are home during the day, that means they're sick. So we get super protective of them and lays with them, especially the oldest. And don't come near my boy because he's sick. And now every morning he's like, I don't know, he's still here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It used to me taking him to school because he doesn't have his license yet. And poor Ryan was gonna go get his driver's license, and then all this happened. Yep. Take the kid to school, the other kids go to school, and then it's just me and him usually. He jumps up on the couch and then he lays there for a few hours while I'm on my laptop working. And now he's just like, you're in your old office and these kids are still here, and I'm just tired. And the cats are like, you guys don't ever leave.
Yeah.
They're napping anywhere they can, in my closet, on the chair, because they're like, just get out. They're cats,
Right,
so they're like,
right.
just get out.
Just
So
get out.
I think that's another great way to lift each other up is get a whole bunch of family or friends and get on any meeting or go to meetings or Zoom or Skype and come together and hang out, have virtual coffee, have virtual breakfast, whatever.
Yeah, do things that, are different, right? Think outside the box. That's why I started doing the live streams, right? Yeah, I'm not able to go knock on doors, but this will give me an opportunity to talk directly to you and say, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm about, right? And now that I figured out how to use this software and stuff, I'm going to have people on from all over. It's going to be really, really cool. I'm trying to get some good, interesting guests on and
maybe
get
this
some
is
opinions.
how the card industry and mail and writing letters gets revived, because if you're healthy, maybe send a card to a little, like, kids love getting mail. I mean, even if it's like the ads, they're like, woohoo, here.
Right. If
send
it just has
cards,
their name on
send
it,
letters, FaceTime, Skype, all that. That's how we can all stay connected. If you're having a hard time with anxiety, reach out to professionals and get, some telehealth professional help, or reach out to your support system and lean on it. That's the only way we're going to get through it, is if we lean on each other.
Yeah, I will say, look, all other things aside, everything else being equal, right? If you're having a hard time, if you're, having scary thoughts or worried about what things are going to happen, there are resources out there for you. Absolutely. There are hotlines. There are people that are devoting the time that they have to making sure that you have access to the help that you need. Don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like there's nothing out there to help you, because there is. There's help out there, and you just might have to look for it a little bit. But there are resources out there. The other thing
to do is get hit by a cat. Is if you're stressing out about anything, and I learned this. I watched the governor's state of the states Friday, and it's what the guy from I think it's Weekend said. You're stressed out of a situation. Write the worst case scenario, the worst result you can think of, and then write the best. And usually that is somewhat, what is really going to happen is somewhere in between. We all have very real anxiety and fears, and then a lot of it is just us in our own head. So if it's in your own head, it's just general anxiety, talk it out, write it out, reach out to people, reach out to professionals, call the hotlines. I'm not trying to downplay a real fear of how do I pay rent? How do I pay my mortgage? Those are real problems and fears. Hi, Sheila. But reach out to people, even your family. Just reach out. And that's one of our cats. We have 3. He's the
3 cats and a dog.
They're all
2 guinea pigs.
The cats are 2 are the same age. 1 is a year behind. But this one thinks he's like 10 years older than all the other cats.
Yeah.
He's an old cat.
Yeah, he thinks he's ancient.
Yeah.
But there's resources out there, right? But talking just a moment about the cards and letters. So I'm reading an article, right? I posted it earlier about the post office and how they, are requesting additional funds to save them. Otherwise, they'll be out of business by June and have to shut down. So one thing that really irked me about the article is I'm reading it. It's from MSN, so, huge shock there. But one of the things was like, they only got like $10 billion, right? Only. The word only was actually in front of $10 billion. And that's part of what's wrong, I think, with this, all this stuff going on, is we actually treat this amount of money as if it's insignificant, right? 10 billion, who cares about that?
It's making us, I think about what's really important, regardless of your faith, whatever it is, whether you're Christian or Jew, Latin, whatever. It's a good time to lean on that faith. I read an article that the Bible, I'm a Christian, so I'm using my book as a reference. Too many people are going to their holy books and saying, there has to be an answer in here for exactly this.
Right.
And in this article it said, actually there is, and it is learning how to understand that some things are bigger than you, but that God, whichever incarnation, is bigger than this. So you need to learn to trust in him and lean on him and know that he has it taken care of.
Yeah.
Instead of looking for that fix, look how to rest and understand that if anyone has it under control, it is God.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good time to rethink what's important, and it's your health, and it's family, and it's your faith, and it is just giving yourself some grace. Like a really wonderful boss I had would say, be a fountain and not a drain. And she's watching, so but just hug your kids and too many kids are stressed out by this. It's all over the place. Shut the TV off. Step away from social media. Go for a walk. Play in the yard with your kids. Let your kids know that, okay, it's scary out there, but at home, I got this.
Right.
We're okay. And like bake cookies or something. Like just let them be kids and don't bombard them with adult stuff.
Right.
Because kids are already scared, especially if they have to stay home alone. While their parents are working. This is a huge shift, a huge change for most
kids. Yeah, it's a huge difference. You know, they're used to getting up in the morning, going to school, and then coming home in the afternoon or whatever. Now they're home all day long. Mom and dad are gone. It's a huge difference. So, and that's another thing. Actually, that brings up a good point. Paul said, shoot the TV. Be cognizant. Be aware of what your children are watching, of what your children are involved in.
I say Mr. Rogers. Like, just go old school Sesame Street.
Yeah, but realistically, like, especially your, that's great for little kids, sure. But what I mean is your older kids, like, you have no idea what Orion's watching right now.
He's watching Dave. I do know.
Okay, right now. But before that, be cognizant of what your kids are watching, what they're doing, the people that they're talking to online. I'm going to tell you, with everything locked down the way it is, we know that there are human trafficking networks out there. We know that with everything shut down like it is, they're getting hard up for product.
And I think predators know all the kids are home.
Right.
And they're all online, whether they're playing video games online or computer games online or they're on social media. All the kids are home and they're reachable and they're accessible. So, like, always have the computer in an area where you can monitor and stress to the kids. And that's what I did with mine. You can have your cell phone, but you need to know that I can ask for it at any moment. And you need to give it to me at any moment. And is there anything, I mean, I know when I was in high school, it was before the time where everything was put online and we were doing things that we would never want our parents to know or see or the worst thing you ever thought of was you'd be talking to one of your friends about a guy you liked or whatever, and they'd be on three-way and just be quiet on the other line. I let my son know, make sure there's nothing in your phone that you don't want me to find. Because I can't imagine the horror if, like, my dad found what I would say to my friends if they were able to read it. That's horrible.
Right.
So just tell your kids, I'm still going to check. I'm going to check up what you're going to do.
Yeah, Paul says, walk the streets, talk to your neighbors and others. Reality in the world is not what the media portrays. Don't just focus on what the media tells you. Don't just focus on what you see in social media, right? Actually talk to your neighbors, your family. find out what their experiences actually are. Not what they read online, not what they saw on MSNBC, but their real life experience, right? Because real life experience is different than what the media is portraying. There are many, many, many instances of this. I'm not going to go into them, but we see it, right? There are many things happening that the media, that is at odds with what the media says is going on. So I think that that's a good point. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends about what's really happening in their lives versus what the media tells you.
And then when this is all over, we all need to have this big old party, and everyone needs to, probably social
neighborhood block parties, and
let's all come together. And I know I just got a comment on my watch party, and just know that I'm coming when this is all over. BK, I'm coming to Hammond, and I'm gonna see that little baby because he's so freaking adorable. Also, it's important to understand that if you are having a hard time with this, there are people who are having even a harder time, and they need health care. And I think a lot of our elderly and our handicapped are going to be pushed to the back,
right,
and not understand what's going on. It is possible if you go to the store, you may see behaviors, and just please don't judge. Please don't stare.
Yeah.
There are people who we understand and we're struggling. And if we can understand what's going on and we're struggling, there are people who don't understand what's going on. All they know is their worlds have been changed, their daily routines have been changed, and now you're taking me to the store, whether it's a child who struggles with autism, who's having a really hard time, all the way up to an adult, even if it's just a person crying in the store. Don't judge, don't stare, just let everyone process as they are, and don't be a Karen, just don't judge, just be nice. If that cashier is rude to you, I mean, if she's blatantly hostile, that's one thing, but our essential workers are people who are only making $9, $10, $11 an hour. We have too many CEOs that want to profit off of this, but they're stressed, they're worried, they're overworked. Give everyone some space and some slack, and just be decent and nice to each other.
Yeah.
I know he is, but I'm still coming to hug the baby. This is it's an unusual time for everyone. I did want to touch on mail-in voting, and I'm going to do this non-politically.
Well, why don't you wait on that?
Okay.
Because Heather offered to explain kind of the whole thing and what's involved in it. I'm going to call her when the live stream's over, and I'm going to take some notes, and then I'm actually going to ask her if she wants to come on and explain.
Okay.
But if she doesn't, either way, I'm going to take it all down, because I think it's important for all of us to have a deep understanding of what's happening with our votes, right? Well, I think that's important, especially with the primary.
I have some people on the watch party that didn't see the last one.
Okay.
So I'm just going to touch real non-politically. This doesn't matter which political party you are with. So I'm going to make that, this is not, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted to just, there's no nicotine. He's a peach. So let's say there are 3 people running. Okay. And you like Larry, Moe, and Curly are running. And you like Moe. Moe's your guy. Moe's who you want. You need to go to the primary and vote for Moe. Primaries, I used to think primaries were decided by other people, or, they didn't count. Well, they count, because if you want Moe to go against Johnny Depp or whatever, Johnny Depp. Okay, if you want Johnny, it's Moe. You like Moe, vote for Moe, so Moe can go against Johnny, and Moe can win. Larry Moe versus Johnny Depp.
What election is this?
What election is this? If you want your guy to make it to that general election, you need to go vote for him in the primary. If you've never voted in the primary, you need to be registered to vote, and that ends, when does registering to vote end? It got extended.
Yeah.
I want to say May, because the primary got pushed to June. 5th. Register to vote, then go vote in the primary and vote for your Moe, so he can go to the general election, and then you can vote for Moe and he can win. I don't care what party, it doesn't matter.
No. Whichever person you want to see represent you in Washington,
and look at how they're handling this time right now. Are they using their office to their advantage, or do they not have an advantage, but they're not really doing anything? They're not on Facebook Live. They're not monitoring their own Facebook.
Right.
They're not responding. They're not, if we're all locked in the house and we all have time on our hands, how are they using their time?
Yeah.
They have already in 3 weeks, that's a problem. I don't know where that's going from. Yeah, just take a walk in your neighborhood and talk to people from 6 feet and get to know people and talk to them. And sometimes just smiling at them might be enough to get them through the day.
Yeah.
I want to paint walls, but paint's not essential, so I can't. So I'm cleaning carpets, which is a bigger deal than I thought it would be, but hey, that's how I'm passing my time.
Spring cleaning time, right?
I know spring break's coming up, and that the kids are like, but it's spring break. No, you can't.
Yeah, nothing changes,
anywhere.
right? Nothing changes. They're still home. They still can't go anywhere other than, heck, they're even having people call the cops because kids are going to the park. Come on, really?
Will be, and I have not heard. And so if anyone knows, let me know, because if they cancel this, I will be extremely sad. In Munster, the Kitty Bike Parade, I really hope they don't cancel it. It's been going on for like 50 years. And, I think the kids are really going to need an opportunity to decorate their bikes. If you've never been to the Kitty Bike Parade in Munster, go. It's so cool. The kids decorate their bikes and streamers and all that good stuff. And then the parade is literally like, I think 2 blocks long. Yeah. But it's kids just so proud of their bikes, and then the fire trucks come, and it's fun. So I really hope they don't cancel that. Also, if you have a favorite restaurant, support it. If you have a favorite small business, support it, whether it's buying a gift card or doing, there's a restaurant that's opening Tuesday in Westville called Jimmy's that is brand new. I've never been there, but it's their opening day, and they're doing curbside pickup. So utilize that. Support the local businesses, the small businesses. The businesses you like I do need to see if Munster Donut delivers, or we'll do curbside so I can get some of those. But and mine are done, but they're doing carry out. Support your small businesses, support each other.
Yeah, stop supporting Walmart. To hell with Walmart. Samuel Walton be spinning in his grave right now.
And if you're looking, also learn this. If you are looking for like toilet paper, food, everyone wants to run out to the big box stores. They're going to sell out first. Go to your smaller stores, your
local small businesses,
local grocery stores.
Yeah, there's a place in LaPorte that provides paper and
in Maryville, if you're looking for toilet paper, Able paper products. You have to order a bunch, but I mean, you can't find it now.
You don't have to order that much. They'll do like small boxes.
Yeah, half a case. But
I mean,
or like have 2 people get on it and then get a full case and like 100 rolls or something and split them. But use the small businesses.
Right. Yeah.
Don't let some people are boycotting Asian supermarkets. I don't know where there are any in the district, but in other places they're boycotting Asian supermarkets because of this. If there's a resource there for food, go use the resource.
Yeah.
Oh, Abel's in Hobart. I heard Maryville, but Maryville, Hobart, Cherville,
there's like one in LaPorte too.
There's an Able in LaPorte.
Well, there's a paper supplier.
Yeah. Go to Dollar Tree for toilet paper. It's always stocked. Yeah, go to the dollar stores.
Yeah.
They have
especially if you're not going to stock up on stuff. You just go for 1 or 2 things. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of certain dollar stores because of the way they treat their employees and whatnot. But
pay attention to how people are treating their employees, because if they're going to treat them bad now, they're going to treat them bad all the time. And your dollar is your voice. I used to go to Hobby Lobby. I won't go back.
Right. The bottom line is right now you can tell a lot about a company and just the people involved in that by how they treat their employees, how they're responding to this crisis. Remember that, right? Remember how they reacted, how they're treating their employees. I will never shop at Hobby Lobby again, ever. They just completely
the restaurant with the cinnamon butter. I think it's Texas Roadhouse. I've been there a couple times. They have cinnamon butter. It's really good. But other people
cinnamon butter restaurant.
The Texas Roadhouse. The CEO gave up his salary so it could go to the frontline workers. really pay attention to that. I work
Yeah.
for a great company. My boss is amazing, and we're a small company. We only have like 50 some employees, but you know, you see how when the chips are down, how your boss, how your CEO, how your supervisors treat you. Well, pretty much the CEO. When the head person in charge, are they more concerned with raising prices and making money, or more concerned with their people?
Right. Right.
Our youngest, my youngest stepdaughter, his youngest daughter, works at a very large chain coffee place that has frappuccinos and all that. And they are, she said that they're treating their employees well, and they're giving them hazard pay and all that. So I think that's good. I'd like to see how they react when, like GameStop, oh my gosh, making your employees work without PPEs and all that. You really see where the corporations are going. Texas Roadhouse. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
That's
Offering some great package deals on meals, he says.
You know, pay attention to how they're treating their staff, and then figure out whether you want to support that or not. I don't want to support a company that fires employees via email. So it's just not, pay attention. I think you see a lot of smaller businesses treating their employees better than a lot of mega corporations. My mom works for a retail pharmacy, and for her to call off because she would be sick and potentially have the virus that I shall not be named. They want her, from what I understand, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but the way she described it, being told in the letter, they want her to have a diagnosis within 24 hours. Well, we all know that the test takes longer. But I think if you are going to be a big corporation, you should definitely give your people hazard pay. You should do whatever you need to make sure your frontline workers are taken care of and keeping your business afloat during this time when it's so easy to say, I'm done, I'm out, it's over. But you know, there are industries that are hiring because they're hurting right now. And you know, like I said, the prison it might be a job that somebody takes and actually falls in love with and stays or branches off into another field. But I know the prison has health insurance, and I know it pays fairly decently. So I'm just trying to share that so people think that all hope is lost. Hi, Robert. He just joined.
All right.
Other than that, what's everyone going to do with this next upcoming week that we have our social distancing and shelter in place? What are we called? Hunker down Hoosiers. That's what we're being called.
I don't know. The whole
sometimes
thing.
It's just getting out for a drive. Like, just get in your car and drive.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like you see these ridiculous stories about people being, you know, arrested because they weren't going anywhere essential or whatever. It's interesting because here in Indiana, the governor has said, DNR has said, hey, go out, enjoy our parks, right? Enjoy the outdoors. So wait a minute. So then technically you should be able to go anywhere and do. I'm not saying go spread, you know, your germs around people. But what I'm saying is, if you're headed to a park, if you're headed to a outdoor type event, maintain social distancing. That's all. I think
it's also important to find the positive. I do a happy, silly, goofy, weird facts every day, just because it allows me to mentally get out of what's going on and go search for fun facts and keep reading the same fun facts I've used, because I don't want to use the same ones. Or just get out of your head and get out of your headspace and go do something. Try a new recipe. I want to try to bake bread. I have to get more loaf pans because the recipe my dad sent me for my grandma's bread makes like 7 loaves. And we don't need 7 loaves. It is a big recipe. My dad's like, you're going to need a bowl of like 8 feet wide and 6 feet deep. So I'll wrap them in saran wrap, freeze them, or, you know, if my neighbors want a loaf of bread, sometimes something as little as that can help people get through.
Right.
You need them all.
I read them all.
Oh, I read them all. I thought you wanted all the loaves of bread. And I said,
No,
well, Paul, that's a lot.
He reads all your facts, I think that's what he's saying.
Good. It's just, it's just a break. It's just something to get your mind off and remember that we got to remember that this is going to end. I don't know when, but it's going to
It'll
end.
be over. Yeah, it'll end at some point, you
And
know.
I hope everyone uses this time to read a book, read a new book, or on my Facebook page, and it's public, there's a link to where you can actually take Ivy League classes for free. Come out better, a better person than you went in. You know, I would say volunteer, but I don't know if that is the best thing right now. But volunteer your time, volunteer to go to the store for someone, or listen to someone. If anyone needs someone to talk to, they can always message me. I have no problem talking to people. Working from home, so many of us are working from home. Just be patient and understand that everyone's using the same platforms.
Yeah.
The internet signal needs to go to space. Give it a second, and it'll come back. But you know, use Skype and Zoom and whatever to connect.
Yeah.
And remember that no one can cancel Easter. You can't cancel Easter.
It'll be here regardless.
It'll be here regardless, and it is, you know, just spend time with your family and your cats. Oh, he's gone. And your animals, and take a walk and help your neighbor. And, you know,
be better, do better than, you know, for yourself and for others. So we're past an hour and a half now. I think it's time to wrap it up. And so y'all, I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us tonight. And I'm telling you, there's some good stuff coming up with these. We got some, now that I got this working,
like
we're going to have,
from New York,
we got somebody from New York,
Arizona.
Potentially Arizona, Colorado. So we'll get people from all over and get some different perspectives about what's going on right over there. So I think that's it.
I don't have any comments. So.
Yeah, nothing. Okay.
Thank you for everyone joining us.
Yes, thank you for everybody. What if I eat the bunny?
What if I eat the bunny?
Okay,
if you're not eating the Easter bunny, that is just, I think he's not, I don't think they've deemed him essential, so he may not be out.
Yeah.
But if you see him, don't
fry him up.
Don't eat the Easter bunny. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. All right.
So, again, thanks for coming out. Appreciate you. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
Bye.